Please, you can't bend the rules just once.
Is it a possible case of life imitating art?
Do you know the team could use some new batting helmets?
You asking for a bribe?
You pretending you're above that?
I got my checkbook.
Felicity Huffman's character bribing her son's baseball coach in an episode of Desperate Housewives. Now, the Emmy Award-winning actress is one of dozens of parents embroiled in the largest alleged college admissions cheating scam ever prosecuted.
The FBI uncovered what we believe is a rigged system.
We may have, well, he may have embellished, lied a bit on our application.
Also indicted, Lori Loughlin, the star of Full House, and her husband, Massimo Giannulli, the fashion designer worth millions.
We believe everyone charged here today had a role in fostering a culture of corruption and greed that created an uneven playing field for students trying to get into these schools the right way through hard work, good grades, and community service.
Bombshell allegations implicating 33 rich and powerful parents who are collectively accused of doling out over $25 million to this man, William Rick Singer, who helped their kids get into some of the nation's most elite colleges, from Stanford to Yale to Georgetown.
Unfortunately, what many students didn't know was that the odds had already been stacked against them by corrupt practices.
Dubbed Operation Varsity Blues, the U.S. attorney saying the investigation uncovering widespread bribes to exam officials to cheat on standardized tests and paying off coaches for athletic slots, even staging photos for students who never even played the sport.
In one example, the head women's soccer coach at Yale, in exchange for $400,000, accepted an applicant as a recruit for the Yale women's team, despite knowing that the applicant did not even play competitive soccer. These parents are a catalog of wealth and privilege. For every student admitted through fraud, an honest, genuinely talented student was rejected.
The reaction swift all over social media today. This Twitter user saying, "I've been holding my daughter's hand through frustration and tears these past 6 months as she's been working her tail off to get a decent ACT score," while another noting the disparity in how students of color and low-income students are viewed at elite schools. Quote, "While so many wealthy students have their parents essentially buy their way into these schools and rarely experience the same skepticism." For Felicity Huffman, it started here this morning, authorities arresting her at her Hollywood Hills home, accused of paying $15,000 to get her oldest daughter a better score on the SATs.
Felicity Huffman was inside this federal building right here. She had to appear before the judge. Her husband, actor William H. Macy, in the front row. They did eventually post a bond of $250,000, the judge stating that she has an estate worth $20 million.
Loughlin is currently in Canada and has a warrant for her arrest upon her return to the U.S., charged with the same felony as Huffman, conspiracy to commit mail fraud. Her husband appearing in federal court in Los Angeles today.
You know, Oprah once said the worst thing anybody can have happen to them is public humiliation. And that's exactly what's happening to these two families right now.
Is that part of the message that the Justice Department is sending?
100%. They sent a very strong message.
The couple allegedly paid $500,000 in bribes in order to get their two daughters, Isabella and Olivia, admitted into the University of Southern California as recruits for the school's crew team, despite the fact that neither participated in that sport. As part of the effort, Massimo allegedly emailing a photo of older daughter Isabella on a stationary rowing machine.
If you were the parent of a kid who didn't get into USC, and Lori Loughlin's kid did get in, you're really not very happy right now.
I don't know why I'm so comfortable vlogging in public right now. I think because I'm with Bella.
Both girls appeared to be attending USC as of last fall, when Olivia posted this video of the two on campus together. USC says it's now conducting an internal investigation, releasing a statement saying in part, USC has not been accused of any wrongdoing and will continue to cooperate fully with the government's investigation. 19-year-old Olivia is a social media influencer who's known as Olivia Jade to her 2 million subscribers on her YouTube channel. She created a stir over her comments on heading to college in this video post last summer.
I do want the experience of like game days, partying, I don't really care about school, as you guys all know.
Olivia ended up apologizing to her followers, saying she is grateful for her education. The scheme, prosecutors say, involved more than just parents.
They uncovered this alleged scheme with the help of 3 key people. You've got Singer, you've got someone who used to be an prep director for this kind of testing, and you got the former coach of a Yale soccer team.
Investigators say Singer funneled bribes through a fake college counseling nonprofit called The Key.
This enabled the parents to not only mask the true nature of the payment, but also take the tax write-off at the end of the year.
It's a complete shell company, but it's used quite often in cases where they're trying to either launder money or funnel money, or in this case, actually use that money as bribe payments. The fact that they actually used it to allow tax deductions for these families, these parents, it almost adds insult to injury. It's pretty amazing.
Singer pled guilty today to racketeering conspiracy, money laundering conspiracy, conspiracy to defraud the U.S., and obstruction of justice.
We know he's pled guilty, and that's dangerous for everyone else involved. And some would say, well, why would prosecutors make a deal with the guy who's at the top of the pyramid? The answer may be that prosecutors don't believe he's the top of the pyramid, that maybe it's the parents who are the more culpable ones here.
According to his bio, Singer is a father and coach with residences in Sacramento and Newport Beach, California, where The Key is based. In 2014, he published a book titled Getting In, Gaining Admission to the College of Your Choice. But the DOJ says Singer was actually a criminal mastermind who created a meticulously curated sham to cater to the privileged and powerful.
What Singer was good at doing was calibrating the fake credentials to appear realistic and not so impressive as to invite suspicion or additional scrutiny.
It was a year-long investigation that started with a tip from a completely separate case.
Normally, when you see bribes that involve hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, that means it's usually a bribe in furtherance of something that's worth a lot more than that. It's staggering to think that there's parents that are willing to pay that amount of money to get their child into university.
Some students allegedly knew what their parents were doing, while others seemed not to. Many of the students, allegedly admitted through false pretenses, are still enrolled at their school. But investigators say the students themselves are not being charged with any crimes.
You will see instances where it's important to parents that their child not know that this had occurred. And in that kind of instance, the student would actually go and take the exam, and someone working for Singer would come in afterward, correct enough of the answers, submit the exam.
Huffman and her Emmy Award-winning husband, actor William H. Macy, who was not charged, allegedly agreed to the plan that involved arranging to get their daughter extra time to take the SAT. When her daughter's high school arranged to proctor the exam, Huffman allegedly emailing Singer, "Rutrow, looks like my daughter's high school wants to provide own proctor," to which Singer responded, "We will speak about it." Huffman's daughter allegedly going on to score a 1420 on the SAT, a 400-point improvement over her PSAT. Investigators say Huffman and Macy discussed but ultimately declined to repeat the cheating scheme for their younger daughter.
Lori Loughlin is in more legal jeopardy in terms of sentence than is Felicity Huffman, because she allegedly did it twice and paid $500,000. Felicity Huffman alleged to have done it once, $15,000. The amount of money matters.
This is not a case where parents were acting in the best interests of their children. This is a case where they flaunted their wealth, sparing no expense, to cheat the system so they could set their children up for success with the best education money could buy.
The deck is wildly stacked against low-income kids and many working class and middle class kids. They don't have SAT prep. They may have one counselor per every 1,000 kids.
Investigators say they're actively looking for other parents and coaches that may be involved in the scam, and also saying the schools themselves are currently not targets. Many schools taking swift action today, suspending or firing the coaches of athletic teams allegedly involved in the scam. Some schools, including USC, University of Texas, and Yale, saying they're victims in this scam.
I think the real victims are people who should have gotten into school who didn't, whose families struggled hard to save money and get their kids to the best college they could.
And there's this belief that I got to do whatever I got to do for my kid. And I get that, but you know, part of what we're trying to shift is parents to think about, yeah, I have to do what's best for my kids, but I also have a deep responsibility to other people's kids.
Well-intentioned or not, prosecutors say they're sending a message that elite education shouldn't be an entitlement. It's something that's earned, fair and square.
There can be no separate college admission system for the wealthy, and I'll add that there will not be a separate criminal justice system either.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.